Let me ask you a question in turn. Have you noticed how the word collaborate is nestled with the word labor in it? Because without labor, it's very difficult to collaborate. Our collective, the Vartalip Coalition, which was set up by Community, the youth collective, we put together an intention. Every youth a Jagrik, and every space nurturing Jagriks. Where a Jagrik is a self-awakened citizen, a youth leader. Everybody thought this was a great cause, as the leadership vacuum has been much talked about. We got stakeholders from every sector joining in to further the cause. We set up conversations to develop the idea. A lot of participation and energy got us all excited. Funders, government, higher education folks, they said, just wait a minute. Why don't we figure out a little bit of research and let's get some evidence on why youth leadership is so critical. Many studies were commissioned, someone wrote a white paper, but suddenly we noticed that the civil society organization numbers had started dwindling. We asked them, and their feedback was, we have a map, but where's the journey? We are people of action. We didn't know we were forming a think tank. And they started laughing. But we weren't laughing. Well, not on paper, but just seeing things did not seem good enough for these NGOs. And we realized that that intention needed to be converted to action quickly. So we set up several working groups. There was like a bonding group, a learning group, a programming group, a fundraising group. In this groups, they started doing things together. That picked up the energy. There was also Varta Labs that were started. They ideated on polarization, I remember, masculinity, climate action. They quickly came up with some innovative journeys on inside out youth leadership on these issues. The energy really picked up again. But the real labor, that was yet to begin. Well, as they started doing things together, what really happened was a lot of fights broke out. That was the labor. Because they were all CEOs with great accomplishments, sort of legends in their own rights. They were used to working in their own organization as bosses. And of course, they had strong points of view. They were entrepreneurs. So they fought. Skirmishes were happening in every group, every meeting, again and again. It was crazy. It loomed as a big threat for the collective again. But slowly we saw that in this threat was the biggest opportunity actually. Because each of them brought in really valuable insights and diverse viewing points. So we set up processes and built capacities where people could talk to each other with empathy, search from where the other was coming, confront each other if needed, but with care fronting, as we called it. And then together come up with solutions. So they learned how to now harmonize their diverse ideas. And so therefore we could fly together in formation. Slowly people began to support each other's views. And as trust developed, we realized that this soft part of handling conflict positively was giving us the hard impact. Being together of the collective was a game changer for us. The being was the labor, and the labor bore fruit in a lot of togetherness, a lot of learning, a lot of solidarity, and a lot of collaborative impact. An example of this was a great campaign called Saath Nirbhar, where the seeing together, doing together, and the being together was demonstrated beautifully. It was a great coming together of youth leaders to really make a big difference during the pandemic. When most other kinds of leadership was floundering and the need of others on the ground, grassroots leaders, was acute. So much so that Saath Nirbhar got 3 national, international recognitions, including the World Economic Forum's top 50 ground responders across the world reward. which was quite a big award. Not only that, great friendships were forged while working together in the trenches against the virus. People learned a lot from each other's working styles and their ways of responding to the crisis. All this was possible because we had decided it's not about fight or flight, but fight and flight. And that's how the seeing, doing, and ultimately being together got a collective flying from strength to strength. Now the Vartalip Coalition is a thriving space of 150 organizations enjoying what they're doing and cherishing their togetherness. In our playbook, the collective is not a means to an end. It's an end in itself.